Lord, from sorrows deep I call. When my hope is shaken, torn and ruined from the fall, hear my desperation. For so long I pled and prayed, God, come to my rescue. Even so the thorn remains, still my heart will praise you. Storms within my troubled soul, questions without answers. On my faith these billows roll, God be now my shelter. Why are you cast down, my soul? Hope in Him who saves you. When the fires have all grown cold, cause this heart to praise you. Oh, my soul, put your hope in God, my help, my rock, I will praise Him. Sing, oh sing, through the raging storm, you're still my God, my salvation. Should my life be torn from me, every worldly pleasure, when all I possess is grief, God be then my treasure. Be my vision in the night, be my hope and refuge, till my faith is turned aside. Lord, my heart will praise you. Oh, my soul, put your hope in God, my help, my rock, I will praise Him. Sing, oh sing, through the raging storm, you're still my God, my salvation. Oh, my soul, put your hope in God, my help, my rock, I will praise Him. Sing, oh sing, through the raging storm, you're still my God, my salvation.
Landon, Tim, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing
Good.
well.
How you doing, boss?
Doing great. Hey, let's talk about this song, Lord from Sorrows Deep I Call. That's a long title. I think there's 6 words in that title. What do they say about songs with long titles?
It's got more than 4 words. It's more holy, more biblical.
Okay, so this song must be that holy.
It's a good one.
Yeah. This is a song written by a couple of Matts. Unfortunately, I don't get to be one of those Matts. It was written by Matt Boswell and his friend Matt Papa. And it's a song that is based on Psalm 42. And this is a psalm that is encouraging the reader to cling to God in the midst of sorrow and despair. So What an encouraging theme for a summer day, right?
It's reality, though.
It is reality.
Part of life.
It's a good song to have on your summer playlist.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. The reality is that life is filled with trouble. In fact, Jesus said it, in this world you will have trouble. And so if that is the way it goes, if that's what we all kind of feel from one degree or another, then it would be good for us to have something that would help give us some articulation in terms of coming to God and expressing language to Him in the midst of those moments. I think the reality is as the corporate church, when we gather, it's easy for us, and it's maybe more natural for us to go to these places of praise and thanksgiving, the joy of the Lord, the faithfulness of God. Those are all themes that I think we rally around most often than not. And it's very rare that we will go to a place of corporate lament, corporate sorrow, corporate despair. And yet I think if that's the way that life is, if we feel it, in our gut, and if we're all dealing with some form of hidden battle that we're going through, it would be good. I think it would be encouraging and edifying for the people of God to be able to articulate some of these statements together as a church. So that's what this song does. That's what it provides us with. And we want to just take a few minutes to unpack the song. So let's start with verse 1.
Yeah, verse 1 gets right into it. It's such a powerful thing to just acknowledge our brokenness. In the first line, Lord, from sorrows deep I call when my hope is shaken. There's a lot of moments of life where our hope gets shaken. And then there's this beautiful moment where they say, for so long I've pled and prayed, God come to my rescue. They're crying out to the Lord through their brokenness, but even so the thorn remains. That kind of alludes to Paul, the thorn in the flesh that he prayed for God to take away, and it was still there. But the last line is the most beautiful part. Still my heart will praise you. No matter what I'm going through, I'm going to praise you. And it brings to mind to me Psalm 119:71 that says, it was good for me to be afflicted so that I might learn your decrees. I think oftentimes if everything is going well in our life, we tend to not look to the Lord. We tend to we actually don't often thank Him for all the wonderful days. We ask Him why about the bad days. But in those moments of affliction, in those moments of suffering, I think they can be good for us to push us into praise, to push us into prayer, and to seek the Lord through it. And so that's what this song does, and it's a powerful declaration. So.
Yeah, I love it. I remember when we were talking about which verses we're going to take, which parts we're going to sing, we got to verse 2 and I was like, I'm going to take that one because it rings so true in my own personal life. I mean, you think about what you just talked about with Jesus saying, you will face troubles, you will face trials. And I remember being in my mid-20s thinking, oh yeah, life's going great, right? Like, what could go wrong? And then an event happening that just completely shook me and made me realize, man, life is so fragile. And I remember at that very moment, I questioned God. I remember driving in my car, I was down in Riverside, just lamenting to God, crying out to God, saying, God, you know I can't handle this. You know I can't do this. So why are you doing this to me? And I remember specifically thinking about this verse. Says this in verse 6. It says, my soul is cast down with me. I remember at that point, my soul was cast down with me. But I love what he says here. He says, therefore, I remember you from the land of Jordan and of Hermon. And then he goes down to verse 11. It says, why are you cast down, O my soul? And I remember at that moment just feeling the peace of God coming over me saying, I got this. I'm with you even here. Remember, I've had you every single step of your life. And that's what the author is saying here. He says, in those moments, in those times of trial, remember what I've done for you and cling to me and pray to me in every circumstance.
Yeah. Verse 3 comes to a point where it's saying, should my life be torn from me, every worldly pleasure? I mean, it's kind of this gut level statement of, okay, if the worst happens, if the bottom completely drops out and I'm left with nothing, he's saying, would you be my portion? Would you be my treasure? It kind of harkens to Psalm 73 where it says, God is the strength of my heart, my portion forever. He's calling out to God saying, would you be my everything, even in the midst of me having nothing? And he's making these statements. He's saying, be my vision in the night, be my hope, be my refuge. And then he makes this amazing statement, till our faith is turned to sight, still my heart will praise you. And right now, in the here and now, we live in this state of walking by faith, not by sight. But there will be a day when we actually walk and live and exist by sight. All the things that we had lived in faith over, we will now see, the fruition of that faith come to reality when we see Christ face to face, when we enter into his kingdom, when we get to experience the glories of heaven. So there is a hope that we cling to. In the midst of walking down on this earth, which is filled with all of its pain and sorrow, we cling to hope. And so we can make these statements now that the chorus brings us to, which is, "Oh, my soul, put your hope in God, my help, my rock, my salvation." And so even the statement itself, it's like he's talking to himself. "Oh, my soul, life may be difficult, it may be filled with pain, but oh, my soul, put your hope in God." And let's remember these things that we cling to. Let's remember these things as we walk through life. These are important statements for the church to make together. And so I think that's what this song is all about and what it helps us to do.
Yeah, totally. Love it.
Yeah.